Tyrone Bowman Live. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to the program on tonight. This coming Sunday, the Super Bowl is set to take place in New Orleans. And President Donald Trump will be in attendance because I think he's an ardent fan of the Chiefs. So he's going to be in attendance at the Super Bowl. And but personally, I believe the game is going to be rigged. Yes, I said it. The game is going to be rigged. The Eagles are going to be cheated out of the game. They're going to lie. They're going to cheat. They're going to steal. The refs are going to favor the Chiefs. What would have been a wonderful showmanship of great sportsmanship will not happen. According to Business Insider, in appeasing Trump, the NFL created an entirely new set of problems with its national anthem policy. So let's talk about it tonight. The NFL approved a new policy that, before I say that, the only way the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell could do anything is because of the white, racist, bigoted owners who make up the NFL. And what gets me, what bothers me, the NFL is 90% plus black players. What is wrong with you black players? Why can't you organize? Why can't you mobilize? Why can't you get yourselves together outside of just wrecking and ruining your lives, wasting your money, chasing women up and down the roads? Yes, I'm talking to y'all now. You all have the power to break or make the NFL, but instead, you'd rather go along to get along. So, the NFL approved a new policy that requires players to stand during the national anthem. Well, they would have to fire me, because if I didn't want to stand, I wouldn't stand. Some in the league admitted that the wrath of President Donald Trump was a factor. The White House has already taken a victory lap, but there is little reason to think Trump won't continue his attacks on the league and the players. The league also must now deal with other problems created by the new policy, including players and fans who are upset the league caved to the president, a fractured ownership group, and an even uglier scene during national anthems. NFL owners, all white, approved a new policy for its players that will require them to stand during the national anthem, but also gives them a choice to remain in the locker room. I'd stay in the locker room. Under the new policy, teams would be fined if players don't show appropriate respect for the flag and anthem. What the hell? During slavery, our ancestors wasn't pledging allegiance to the flag, and it was a slave who made the flag. Of course, they give all the credit to Betsy Ross because they like to revise history. This was a clear victory for President Donald Trump. Just ask him, and Vice President Mike Pence. Well, Mike Pence is not the vice president. Elon Musk is the vice president, who tweeted, quote, #winning, close quote, after the NFL announced the policy, a tweet that was quickly shared by Appeases account. Some in the NFL admitted that the wrath of Trump Twitter was a significant factor in the new policy. Green Bay Packers president Mark Murphy laughed when asked why Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated Trump's reactions influenced the new policy. Oh yeah, Murphy said. It was more how Trump might react, anticipating that also how the fans will react, how the media will react. That's what we tried to think through. Dallas owner Jerry Jones also said Trump was an influence. Jerry Jones is a racist. Always has been, always will be. That's why in the photo down in Arkansas, he was down there with the racist bigots blocking the Little Rock Nine from entering the school. Then he claimed he didn't know what was going on. He was a liar. He knew exactly what was going on. Trump certainly initiated some of the thinking and was a part of the entire picture, Jones told Breer. Trump can claim victory, and yet there is no reason to think he won't keep using the NFL and its players as a giant talking point panita. During the 2017 season, Trump lambasted the league with a few kneeled, saying owners should fire the son of bitches. who did and calling for protesting players to be fired. So Lift Every Voice and Sing will no longer be a part of the NFL. If anything, the optics would be worse next season if one team is on the field for the anthem and the other is in the locker room, or if half the players from both sides are on the sidelines and the absence of others is obvious. This would be even worse if some of the players decided to continue kneeling. If kneeling quietly was considered disrespectful, it is safe to assume that ignoring the anthem altogether is going to be viewed as far as greater insult. In fact, we have already seen Trump hint at the idea that he won't let up on the players and the league in his first comments about the new anthem policy, despite saying NFL owners did the right thing. I don't think people should be staying in locker rooms, Trump told Fox and Friends. Screw them over there at the racist and bigoted network. You have to stand proudly for the national anthem. You shouldn't be playing. You shouldn't be there. Maybe they shouldn't be in the country. Not only did the NFL likely unsuccessfully avoid the wrath of Trump's Twitter, the NFL now has also added more problems than they had before. That's right. The NFL has angered its most important partners, the players. The NFL has the right to force players to stand. The NBA has been doing it for years without issue. But what is most curious about the move is that by the end of the 2017 season, the number of players kneeling during the anthem had already been reduced to a handful, as the league and players had started working together on how to address the issues behind the protest. When Bill Russell retired from the Boston Celtics, and he had 11 rings, he refused to have a retiring of his journey ceremony inside of a stadium, he said, because he dealt with the racism and the bigotry and the insults during his entire 11-year career, and he made him retire his jersey in the midst of a stadium that was not full. Now the NFL has gone behind the backs of the players and implemented a new rule designed to shame them into standing during the anthem. The league is essentially saying, if you kneel, we are not punishing you. We're taking money out of somebody's pockets. I'd sue their asses. How about that? Sue their asses. And oh, by the way, you might still get punished by your team anyway. Now the NFL has, meaning they will tell the team members to purposefully hurt the players. Now the NFL has far more fed up players in the league, part because it looks like the NFL is caving to Trump by reproaching the players. This includes Philadelphia Eagles defensive end Chris Long, who has not kneeled but has supported those who did. This is fear of a diminished bottom line, Long tweeted. It's also fear of a president turning his base against a corporation. This is not patriotism. Don't get it confused. These owners don't love America more than the players demonstrating and taking real action to improve. It also lets you know, the fan, know where one league stands. I will continue to be committed to effecting change with my platform. I'm someone who's always looked at the anthem as a declaration of ideas, including the right to peacefully protest. Our league continues to fall short on these issues. The NFL couldn't find players directly. That would have to be collectively bargained with the NFL Players Association. But nothing is stopping individual teams from punishing players when fined for their actions. This is clearly a concern of the players. We are not consulting ahead of this meeting on any potential changes to the anthem policy. The National Football League Players Association spokesperson George Atala told ESPN, if there are changes to the policy that put players in a position where they could be disciplined or fined, we are going to do what we always do: fight anything that encroaches on players' rights to the end. So the Players Association also issued a statement threatening to challenge the policy if it is inconsistent with the collective bargaining agreement. This is a far cry from the meeting between players and owners in October, when it seemed like the two sides had made some progress in moving forward and beyond the protest during the anthem. Why does politics have to come into the football game? This makes no sense. Can't even enjoy the freaking Super Bowl because of this crap. Despite announcing the vote was unanimous among the owners, there was clearly disagreement. San Francisco 49ers CEO Jed York told reporters that he did not support the policy and abstained from the vote. New York Jets CEO Christopher Johnson said Jets players are free to kneel and vowed his team would not fine players if the team is penalized. I do not like imposing my club-specific rules or any club-specific rules, Johnson told Bob Glover of Newsday. If someone takes a knee, That fine will be borne by the organization, by me, not the players. I never want to put restrictions on the speech of our players. Do I prefer that they stand? Of course, but I understand if they felt the need to protest. If this was any other ethnic group that opposed certain things, they wouldn't have a damn thing to say about it. And you know it. Johnson has previously called the idea of requiring players to stand a fantastically bad idea. And none of these problems include the possibility of angering a fan base that leans more Democratic and fans who don't like the idea of caving to Trump, even if they may have been mostly apathetic about the protest before. In other words, the NFL didn't solve its Trump problem, but instead angered its players, its fans.